We made it. Jeepers creepers. It's bloody free. Actually, it's sunny now, so it's a little bit warmer in the sun. But it's a cold wind. It's blowing a gale and it's freezing. It was freezing. I've just had about a 7-mile trip here to get here. I'm right on the coast now. And this is what I should be following now all the way down, actually, to Spain. There you are. The wind's coming towards us, so it looks like I'm going to have a little bit of a cross tailwind. I didn't feel much yesterday. I had a diabolical day again yesterday. Diabolical night. Jeepers creepers. I just seem to be unlucky. I don't know why. Perhaps you make your own luck. It reminds me a bit of walking on the naze here. Very similar. It's a toilet. That is a public toilet. Anyway. I shall put some links in. I need to put some links into where this is. Well, this is a bit different. Day 7. We're on the coast now. That's the coast over there. And bonjour. And we are making progress. Totally different landscape now on the coast. I'm on the EV1, the Eurovelo 1 route, which will take me. I can stay on this now. Hopefully I can use less battery on the cameras, on the phone. Keep checking the route is a nightmare sometimes, but hopefully now I'm on this route it should be okay. As you can see, there's plenty of cyclists. It is a dedicated cycle lane. Cycleway, sorry, not a cycle lane. Oh, hang on, where's that telling me to go? Oh, out there, okay. There we are. See? Don't know what the green arrow means. Perhaps that's the route. Ah, right, okay. Green, maybe. Well, today, this is probably now the worst day. There's a cold wind. Is it because I'm on the coast? I don't know. That wind is bloody cold and it's quite strong. But fortunately, it's probably just behind me. So it's coming across, but it is just behind. So as long as I keep heading south, it's going to act as a little bit of a tailwind. Just a quick update on what's been going on. I think the last time I was talking about I was staying in the Bates Motel or something like that, and eventually in the morning when I did get up, after a lot of toing and froing, I did get breakfast, and then the lady went again and I didn't see her again. And yes, I was the only one there. 6 empty rooms. So I don't know what all that was about. If I was a solo female traveller, I think I'd have been panicking actually. It's crazy. But since then there's been even more, oh goodness me, more catastrophes, more events, more acts of kindness. The following day I made my way, I can't remember, it's the first estuary you come down to. So I said I was going to make my way to the coast, didn't I? And I was going to Nantes originally, but I decided to cut down and go to the coast because there was a ferry there and a road. And I thought, well, if I can't get on the ferry, there's a road there. So I got down there, and the ferry doesn't run, it only runs from June till September or something. And the road is one of these French expressways. So no bikes, no pedestrians, nothing. Just cars and lorries. Bonjour. So I had to double back. I had to find accommodation because it was getting about 5 o'clock. looked all round for accommodation in, I think it's called Saint-Nazaire. I think I'll put it on the screen. The only accommodation I could find was at about 90 quid a night, or there was one for about 40 or 50, I think it was. And then I went to the one at Ferry. I didn't book it, luckily enough. I was on booking.com. I went to see it, and I went in, and I said, you know, I gestured. They did speak a little English about the trike. They got nowhere to put it. No, in the car park. Put it in the car park. And the room, you know, can I see the room? No, well, it's 3 sharing, 3 beds in one room, and sharing the bathroom. I thought, I'm not doing that. So I went back on booking.com, and eventually I found another one that said 7 miles away. So I thought, okay, goodness me. This was all going towards making, and believe it or not, and I'll put the graphic for Ride GPS up, 65 miles I done that day, over 105 kilos. 105 kilometres, sorry. 65 miles, I'll never beat that again. It absolutely killed me. Anyway, so I booked it with booking.com, but when the booking was confirmed, it was 14 miles away. Yeah, exactly. About 6 o'clock at night now, and I've got to do 14 miles before I even get to be somewhere to sleep. And on the trike, it's an average of about 7 miles an hour. But it was just one catastrophe after another. For some reason, Ride GPS, the problem is, no one checks the routes, do they? So it was sending me across bloody cornfields, you know, mud paths and things. So I was having to route my way around that. I knew my battery was getting low, and it was. And yeah, guess what? About 3.5 miles away from destination, the battery went off. I thought it said 5%, but obviously it probably said 2 or 3. If I'd known, I'd have gone rummaging through the panniers and got the battery pack out and put it on before it collapsed. But then it just stopped. And so I had to recharge the battery, and it had to get up to 10% again before the phone started. So that was just another catastrophe. So then off I went again, and I couldn't find this place. Fortunately, I saw a woman drove by in a car and sort of gestured to me that, am I okay, sort of thing, because I was obviously looking puzzled. So I sort of gestured back, no, I think so, sort of thing. But you know, whether she understood, I don't know. But anyway, I carried on looking for a few more minutes, and then I happened to be on a road, because these are all little country lanes in a wooded area, so it was really complicated. And the GPS just wasn't working, or it was just inaccurate. It turns out that you couldn't get to the house the way the map was sending me to start with anyway. We had to go about a quarter of a mile round and come at it from another way. But anyway, so as I was just doing this little bit of driving around, I saw the woman getting out of a car in a house, which looks like a house being built actually, but it's very nice. And I thought, I've got to ask somebody, because you know I'm hopeless. What can I do? So I pulled in the drive, and she was very nice. She was an elderly lady, but she was very friendly, very kind. And she, oh right, okay. So I showed her the booking.com form, and I showed her the address, and I showed her the GPS mark saying it is where I was there. And she said, no. And she spoke a little English, not a lot actually, not enough really, but we managed to get by. And so she then very kindly gestured to me to get back on the trike and pedal, and she'll get back in the car and she'll take me round to the house. And I thought, oh goodness me, some people are so good, aren't they? So, and she did. So as I say, that's where I found out I could never have found it the way I was. And it was about a quarter of a mile round another way and come at it from the other side, sort of thing. So we did, and we got there, and straight away I could see it was closed. It was a. See, in France it's different. In France, what they do now, the French, they shutter their houses, security blinds come down. They shut them at night, they shut them if they go away. I mean, originally the shutters were there for sun, weren't they? Keep the sun out. But now it's all about security. Many of the houses have got them. So this was a nice little bungalow set in its own grounds, and all the shutters were down. So she gestured to me to go and knock on the door, so I did, nothing. Then she gestured from her car just to walk round the back, so I did, nothing. Everything was shuttered down. So I came out and she said, she could sense this was a problem. So I showed her the app again, and she said she'll phone. So on the app you can just click the phone number and it comes up and it rings through. So it did, and it kept ringing and ringing and ringing, and then eventually an answer phone cut in. So she spoke in French on the answer phone, telling them that there was someone here waiting to get in. Anyway, we waited for about another 5 minutes. She waited there with me very patiently, and nothing, no reply, nothing. So then she decides to go and knock on the neighbours' doors, on the neighbours next door. So she did. She went next door and she beckoned me over, and it was a young sort of couple with a couple of kids who were in the garden, and the man offered me a beer, but I politely declined. And then between them they worked out. The man tried to phone because they're neighbours, so he had the phone number. His wife, who spoke better English now, and this was where it became useful, she also tried to phone. She had the woman's private number. Obviously she's got more than one phone. And eventually she got through and said, I've got some bad news. Oh, sorry, by the way, at this point, this is 10 o'clock at night. After all the waiting and toing and throwing and everything else, and driving around not finding it. She said, I've got some bad news, in her broken English. They've gone away for the weekend. And it was all, I just collapsed kind of thing, because I've been riding for 8 hours that day. And as I say, it was a 65 miler. And then between them they were chatting away in French, and then the neighbour, who could speak better English, said, the lady here is offering to put you up for the night at her house, if that's okay with you. And I'm thinking, well, shall I say no? No, I won't. So much grateful, well, thank you, mercy. And she did. And she took me round to her home. She invited me in, carried my bags in. By now it's 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock. She's offering to make me something to eat. I said, oh, no. Can I shower? Douche. And yes. And she showed me to a room, and I've got my own private bathroom, and it was lovely, actually. So the acts of kindness are there. They really are. I mean, this is a woman who's on her own, who's invited me into her home, a complete stranger. And anyway, in the morning, and she was lovely. She made us some breakfast, the continental breakfast, and I bid her farewell. But then I had to make my way, which is a crazy thing, because I'll try and put a map up and maybe that will explain it better. Then I've got to make my way back towards Nantes, which is what I tried to avoid in the first place, to cross this estuary. But between us, before I went, she'd worked out, because she had a computer and everything, it was easier than doing it on a phone, that I could cross it on a ferry. So she told me where to go, and I left her, and that's where I went to, and I did get across on another ferry, but it was virtually just on the outskirts of Nantes. So I've had to go round there and then come back again. And then last night was another disaster with a campsite, because once I'm in the part of the world I am, once I cross that estuary, there's hardly any campsites at all. No one wants to stay in that area. They are now. They're going to start springing up now as I move further south along this road. So yeah, as I'm passing, you're seeing lots of camper vans just parked up. So last night, yeah, so I was looking for a campsite, and then one popped up on Google, I think, a municipal campsite. Now I'm a bit wary of the municipal ones because I've done 2 already. One was very good, but that's the one where the guy was walking around with a torch. And then the other one was a bit hit and miss, a bit higgledy-piggledy, but it was okay. But it was kind of filled mainly with long-term residents, so it was a bit weird. Then the one last night, well, as I turned up to it, once again it was getting quite late, and it was another 45-mile day. I realised there's something not quite right about this, because as I pulled in, there's nobody in there. No caravans in there at all, nothing. No, you know, vans, no tents. And then I could see a group of sort of louts, lads, ladies, whatever you want to call them, teenagers. About 20 of them all sitting around a table, drinking and shouting, and I'm thinking, no. But right next to this campsite was a graveyard which had a wall round it. Now, so you had the wall round it, and then you had a gap of about 10 feet, and then a line of dense shrubs. So I decided, look, I've got to take the bite the bullet here. So I just went in and into this area, which is away from the campsite, and then pitched up between the wall and the shrubs. So I was out of sight, but I didn't sleep a wink. Probably an hour, I reckon. The whole time I could hear them. Oh, and there was partying going on locally. Music, boom, 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 that beat, you know, just going on and on, loads of shouting, and kids, there were kids everywhere, I could hear them. Some of them sounded really young. It's strange. Anyways, I'm not going to let it affect me, because today, although it's cold, I still want to enjoy the ride. So this is quite interesting, isn't it? Sort of coastal area. As you can see. So let's see what day 7 brings. Not quite what I expected. It's a bit bleak, isn't it? It's a bit great expectations, except for the sweet corn and the wheat or barley, is that? Right, I'm heading to that sea wall in the distance. That is the water line. I'm thinking, why is there no other bugger on here? Why is it only me? I can see why. I've got a headwind in my face at the moment, so I'm not sure what the sound's going to be like. It's a cold wind, but the sun's kind of out. We've got grey up there, and we've got blue over there. Always look on the bright side of life. Do-do, 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 do-do. Oh, narrowing. Oh, please tell me I've only got this as a cut through and I'm back on tarmac. There it is, laid out in front of you. Life. What's that in there? Is that potato? No. Oh, are they sunflowers maybe? Oh, there's a lot of gaps. No, I can't really see. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm going to have to check the phone, I think. Make sure I'm not going the wrong way. Well, here I am. At the end of day 7, in the tent. I've got done about 20 miles today. It was meant to be a rest day actually. I've done 7 days now on the trot without any rest at all. And I certainly need some rest. Didn't sleep last night at all either in a tent. Found a nice campsite here, it's nice and quiet. Just had rain, it's just poured down the rain, but I'm okay. Tomorrow's going to be another problem day, I just know it is. There are thunderstorms threatened from well, I think there's rain all day tomorrow, on and off, but heavy rain is threatened for about 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock onwards sort of thing. And I really am, I'm just in a bit of a quandary really. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to sit it out here, try and get some miles in the morning, and then find somewhere. But I don't think I can get far enough to escape the thunderstorms. I've been on to BBC Weather, and you can track the cloud and the rain in all parts of the world, and I've tracked it, and it probably covers about a 50-mile radius. So I can't get far enough away to avoid it. So I don't really know what to do. At the moment, I'm putting off the inevitable and leaving it till the morning. I'm going to check the weather again. I'm not sure. It's going to be tricky, whatever happens, because trying to book hotels at last minute, you know, it's always a bit iffy anyway, and I'll probably have to either pay a lot or not find anywhere. And also camping, if it's going to be like they say it is, heavy rain and thunderstorms, I don't really relish the thought of setting up camp in a wet field somewhere.